Breon Ansley, two-time Classic Physique Mr. O, and soon to be 2020 Classic Physique Mr. O again.
Absolutely, we're working hard for it. Well, we have already been in the trenches. It's kind of working for it, Tomo, and that sounds good coming out of your. That's music to my ears. So
I'm thinking we're going to see a really good appearance from you. I'm already seeing several people talking about you on several podcasts, YouTube videos, and stuff, talking about how big you are. How this is the biggest you've looked in your off season, I think, ever. Correct?
Correct, and the biggest and the best, because bigger doesn't always mean better.
Correct.
But also the biggest and the best. So keeping everything in check with the conditioning as well. So I'm very excited about what's going to all transpire, man, this coming September.
Now, can you divulge your weight for us in the off season?
Oh, sure. Why not? I'm a 217 right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I've stood next to you in person, and I think when me and you trained together, you were 209 or something pounds, right around there.
Yeah.
And you look like walking around. You look 240 all day next to me.
Yeah. Jesus, and I've only put roughly 7-8 pounds on eating all this food, but that's just that just goes to show those people out there that when it's lean and when it's pure muscle, it's not that easy to put on so heavy like these people might think so.
For sure. I mean, yeah, me and you hear people all the time, oh, I want to put on 10 pounds of muscle this year. I'm like, whoa, okay. That's a lot of muscle to put on 1 year or, one off season. 10 pounds of muscle, that can get hard.
Oh, you broke up for 1 second, Tomo.
Sorry about that. I said putting on like 10 pounds of muscle in 1 year, that can be crazy hard.
Yeah, you hear about that on Generation Iron, and you hear these guys doing these science experiments and all that, saying that they could do it overnight and do it in all this quick amount of time. But is it quality? I probably doubt that it is. But let them do it however they want to do it. They're not
Sure.
they're not getting on stage anyway. You know what I mean? They're just walking around with a look.
Exactly. Yeah, the stage look is way different. Now, when you became pro, what was your weight when you became pro? When you got your pro card?
Oh, middleweight. I was 176 and a quarter.
Okay, 176 and a quarter. And what do you weigh now on stage?
Now on stage is it's either 180 or 185, between 180 and 185. So depends on who's doing who's doing my height that day.
Gotcha. Yeah, we know about that. The heights can vary depending on who's measuring you and where.
Absolutely.
Okay. So talking about bodybuilding, you've been in bodybuilding for a long time. You've competed for a long time. When did you get your pro card?
2013. So actually, would you say, Tomo, it's been a long time?
I mean, 2013. I mean, not crazy for being a pro.
Yeah.
But how long have you been bodybuilding total?
Bodybuilding total. Only I started bodybuilding in 2012.
That's crazy. See, that's crazy because that's not that long ago.
Yeah, that's just, not even a full, 8 years ago now.
Okay. See, I thought you were bodybuilding from way back because I know you used to model and you used to do some acting stuff, I believe, too, right?
Yeah, I did that. I was in sports and all that, and I weight trained.
Sure.
But bodybuilding, I barely got into bodybuilding until 2012.
Wow. Okay. So you've been pro since 2013?
13, yeah.
So you only started training for bodybuilding for 1 year and you became pro.
Yeah.
And that's some great genetics right there. That's what you need to be an Olympia champ, of course.
Yeah, I'd like to think so. And just also I think because of my athletic background, you'll notice that like all of your champions and all of your top competitors, they've had an athletic background. Most of them, or maybe even all of them, have had some type of athletic background. So I think like the muscle and the way you're training it as a young, as a youngster.
Sure.
And then for all those years, it's, you built it a certain way. and you mold it a certain way, so now it's ready for, when you have a lot more muscle maturity as an adult and you're training a certain way, it really comes out and it really stands out, and it's highlighted now.
Sure. Well, I mean, some of the greats that were out there, Flex Wheeler, he was in martial arts.
Yeah.
Ronnie Coleman was playing football, and Ronnie Coleman was a monster when he was playing football too. So he was just a freak of nature.
Absolutely. Yeah. You got even your women, Sid Gillen, Candace Lewis. Man, I don't know if Angelica and the Bikini Girls were athletes. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, Ashley Kaltwasser, she grew up in Ohio, not far from where I grew up. And she was a gymnast, I believe, for most of her young life.
Yeah. And I think she ran track and field too.
I believe so.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what it is.
Now, talking about bodybuilding, let's move into health and bodybuilding. So when we're talking about bodybuilding, it can be a relatively unhealthy sport for some. Of course, people can do it healthy and people can do it not so healthy. Now, with health and bodybuilding and longevity in the sport, tell me a little bit of your philosophy and your theories on that, because, you're not 20 years old, but you could probably pass for 25. I mean, I could see you getting ID'd to go buy a beer sometimes.
I do get ID'd, and thank God for that still.
You look young. You look young. You look healthy. Where you see some people that are in the industry and some bodybuilders, and they really don't look so healthy. They don't have that, that idea of health really going for them. They're just big muscle-bound guys. So what's your theories on how you stay healthy and everything through this bodybuilding?
Well, I think my theories early on was that you weren't thinking about that stuff so much. And then what helps you develop smart theories about it is when you see, like you said, some bodybuilders that don't look so healthy. When you see, let's be real, Tomo, when you see some deaths out here, when you see people nowadays in wheelchairs or, not doing well in their late 40s and 50s and just not too spry, then you have a reality check really quick, really fast. Okay?
For sure.
And so now my theory on it is everything health, everything, for longevity, everything, maintain and take care of your body so it would take care of you inside and out. And I also think I think like I think the classic physique is also a very athletic physique. So, it plays right into that as well. It's like that's like a smooth merger right into just really taking care of everything, you know, taking care of your body all in the same vein.
Sure.
With being flexible, with being able to have good mobility, and with that, with being able to do that, comes you feeling great on the inside all the time.
Absolutely. Well, we all saw some of those huge open bodybuilders, losing their breath while they're posing, and they can barely hold their stomach in. I mean, Arnold talked about it in several interviews, about keeping that stomach tight and everything like that. You don't see that in classic physique.
Right.
The everybody that's up there on classic physique, I mean, you're doing the splits on stage. I mean, I don't know how big your legs are, but they got to be damn near 30-inch or plus. They're big.
Yeah.
So you got big quads, you got these big hamstrings and all this muscle, and you're still able to do the splits. That's amazing. That's athletic,
Absolutely. That's absolutely. And I got that from Flex Wheeler when I saw him do it with so much more muscle than me. And when I saw how effortlessly he did it, I said, oh my, I was just blown away.
Sure.
And I said, I have to incorporate that into my arsenal, man. I have to incorporate that into my routine. And that's when I started just going through the pain of stretching for about a good 5-6 months every day. And I was able to do it. Now I could bust it out of the drop of a hat.
That's awesome.
So it's cool. But I think it's very important. Like if I say where some of these bodybuilders had just stretched and taken care of their health, they wouldn't be in the position health wise that they are in today. And I kind of know that for a fact because um, I've talked to some of the legends, and they wish they would have taken better care of their bodies inside and out. You know.
Of course, and there wasn't a lot of education back then, when it comes to, not only hormones, but also, a lot of the different health benefits that, like you and I talk about, like we do here, getting the blood work regularly, seeing what everything looks like, supplementing with things like glutathione, supplementing with things like BPC 157 for tissue repair. These things weren't available back then to a lot of guys.
Right. Right.
So these clinics like this, they didn't exist. They weren't
Right.
around in the 90s. These just didn't happen.
Yeah.
So it's good. It's a good benefit, especially for bodybuilders, which is why I'm so adamant. And I reach out to so many bodybuilders, not only in the local communities, but also all over the country. When me and you linked up, well, I think it was a year or two ago.
Mm-hmm.
And, I want to see you healthy and thriving into your 50s, looking amazing, feeling amazing. And I want you living to 80, 90, 100.
Absolutely.
I don't want to hear about young deaths. I mean, we have, like you said, we have those deaths. And if some of those people would have paid attention to their health and done the right things, we might still see them today.
Sorry. It's almost dropped the phone. My fault.
That bicep's getting too big. You can't hold on to it.
Man, I got to hold on. It's getting tired, man.
So, speaking of those supplements, you are currently taking glutathione.
Yes.
And you also tried our amino blend. Tell me how you're liking those.
I'm loving them. When I found out when you told me that glutathione was a fountain of youth and was a anti-aging cop out, that I was like, oh wow, I'm all for that. Why not?
Okay.
Why not? Why not look a certain way? And throw them off that of how you're looking and where your age really is. And the amino blend. Wow, that was amazing, because you told me about the pump that I would get from that, and sure enough, I did have a great pump that night for shoulders and biceps.
Mm-hmm.
It's been great. BPC 157. I've definitely been on before, and that works wonders too, from experience. So, because I have a knee issue that I had in high school from football, tore my ACL, and that thing is feeling amazing today. The doctor said that I would have, the doctor said what, at like 17, 18 years old, that I had a 40-year-old knee. So if I'm still able to feel great to this day, now in my late 30s, how old is my knee, but still feeling great.
Yeah, well, your body's obviously repairing it. Your body's obviously doing great with it. You know what I mean? And you're taking the right steps to make sure that you're in good health and keeping everything healing.
Absolutely. I stretch every day, take all the supplementation. You have to take care of your body so it can take care of you. That's just how you have to do it. And you don't want to have things happen to where you're like, oh, now I wish I would have done it, and now you're scrambling to do it. When something happens, you'll really thank yourself for taking care of everything inside and out, and getting a jump on it. You'll really thank yourself, in your later years, like we're talking about in our late 40s, 50s, 60s, especially us bodybuilders. I mean, just a normal person would, but especially bodybuilders.
Well, the amount of, taxing effort that you put into this it's crazy. You're training hard every single day. The amount of cardio, the amount of food, all the eating.
Yeah.
You got to make sure that you're on top of everything, and that's what I want to help you with. That's what I want to help everybody with. I want everybody to live healthier and happier throughout their years, regardless of what age they are, what sport they're doing, or if they're just a normal average Joe watching TV.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you, Tomo, to you guys and to Aspire. Really appreciate that, because you know what, man, we really take for granted. We really do take for granted how health is so important. You know how health is so important. I already know it because just when we're sick, when I'm sick and when I'm under the weather, I get depressed. You know,
Oh
I'm
yeah,
like, oh man, I don't like feeling like this. You know, then I have to move around and go try to train, and then I don't like to train if I'm not feeling good on the inside. You know, if I have a stomach ache or I have heartburn or whatever. You know, I don't want to
sure,
go train, and that messes up my mood. um I notice why not just be in a great mood all the time because you're feeling great, you know.
exactly. Yeah, and I talk about that all the time about people's lifespan. You know, what good is it living to 80 if from 50 to 80 you're sick and miserable? You know,
Oh, no good.
so we talk about it. You know, expanding that health span. You know, the
Yeah,
time that you're healthy and alive is what really matters. You know, be like those guys like Jack LaLanne. I think he was still weightlifting a week before he died at 93.
wow.
That guy was living the life. You know,
Sure was,
he
sure
lived to
was,
the fullest.
sure was. Wasn't he involved with um I mean he went into like holistic
Oh yeah,
uh
yeah.
things, right?
Oh yeah, but you know, he was very big. I mean, way before our time, he was looking at hormones and, you know,
Mm,
balancing out hormones as you age. I mean, everybody he didn't publicize it,
yeah.
but that guy was optimal his whole life. And a lot of people attribute that to why he lived so long because his body literally was functioning like a 20 to 30-year-old all the way
Absolutely,
into his 90s.
absolutely,
So
absolutely. Yeah,
So
it's
what's
beautiful.
off season? What's off season looking like for you right now? How's the eating? How's the lifestyle training? Tell me what's going on.
Off season is looking pretty great. Um, we are definitely putting on some muscle fibers. I'm as big as I've ever been at this point. Well, yeah, this is the biggest that I've ever been in any off season, and the leanest. So that's always good, you know, when you're talking about the quality, because we definitely want to keep quality.
Yes.
Eating a lot of food, which is a little tiring.
How many meals
You
a
know,
day?
5 meals a day, but they're big portions.
Gotcha.
Yeah, they're big meals. So that's quite different too. I haven't pushed the food like I have thus far, you know, um, in previous off seasons. So that's quite different, and that's a change, and that's something to deal with. So again, feeling good on the inside, like my digestion, and um, the kind of the lethargic
Sure, sure.
feeling that I get from the food. It's was affecting a little bit, but you know we were able to manage and get through it. So yeah, and you know what comes with eating a lot of food is your strength is great. You know,
Hmm.
you're able to put on some good muscle fibers, um, and uh, and that's about it. And so we're just really focused, still building the brand as we speak, and um, just really excited about what this year is, what's on the forefront of this year.
And same training camp.
Yeah,
Chris,
Chris Cormier. Yeah, Brandon Gertis. Yep,
awesome.
yep.
And
Got you guys on my team. Aspire on my team.
yes, sir. And
Absolutely.
you just reminded me of digestion and all the food and everything like that. I think I told you before that I'm also starting an Aspire Vitality nutraceutical company.
You sure did.
So we're going to be offering supplements such as multivitamins and, you know, all the digestive stuff, but things that really are more medically based.
Yeah,
No pre-workouts or proteins or anything like that. There's plenty of those companies out there. But from the health aspect, especially for bodybuilders, liver and kidney health, digestion, heart health, and a good multivitamin is really what I'm focusing on.
yeah.
And
Wow.
those are going to be coming out very soon. And you know that I'm going to send you a bunch of them because I want you to try them and I want you to feel good too.
Can't wait. Can't wait.
Awesome.
Can't wait.
2020 Olympia. That's your plan, right? No other shows.
That's actually the Athletic Con. That actually, I can't say any details about it right now and what my plans, are with that show. But
Okay.
that Con, I saw that it just came out today on all the platforms. You know,
Mhm.
NPC is talking about it. IFBB Pro League is talking about it. Um, so that we might do the Athleticon. That's the rock show in
Yep.
Atlanta, the Rock and Robin Chang show in Atlanta in October, I want to say it is, early October. So Olympia for sure. Athleticon might be on our radar.
So the Athleticon, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, is 3 weeks after Olympia. So after you go and win your title back at the Olympia, then I think Athleticon might be a really good step, because winning the inaugural show for Athleticon would be pretty cool too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Just how I had to do it for Arnold.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. So that would be special. And from what I hear, I think the Athleticon is going to be groundbreaking for our industry. I
I
really
believe
do.
so too. Yeah, I think for the whole industry, The Rock and everything like that, being involved in the IFBB, it's going to be huge. Not only for the bodybuilders, but for the whole industry, supplement industry, everything that has to do with bodybuilding. I think will grow from this.
Absolutely. So, and I'm very excited about it. It's been a long time coming. You know, people like Sean Ray, I know, are excited about it. That wanted um, just a total better platform and a more lucrative platform for the bodybuilding industry. I think this will. Um, I think this is going to kind of pioneer it and take it into the right direction.
Absolutely. Well, by the time Athleticon comes, there will more than likely be an Aspire booth there, because our Georgia license is pending.
Oh,
And there's also something in the works with a previous 8-time Mr. Olympia champion who I may be partnering up with, who happens to live in Atlanta. I'm sure if you can think about it, you probably know who I'm talking about.
absolutely. By the initials L and H.
Yes, sir. So we
Wow.
will we will release more information about that later on. I'm in talks with him and his agent and his whole training program, because he actually has a personal training company, or that certifies personal trainers.
Wow.
So he's doing some really awesome stuff there. He is all about the health and wellness, and we're looking at partnering up with him up in Atlanta. So we'll be announcing more about that for Athleticon as well.
Wow. Good things coming. Good things coming. That's for sure. Great things coming. So
Yes,
that's
sir.
exciting news.
So last thing, give me what you would tell aspiring bodybuilders, aspiring athletes, just about health and longevity. And, of course, we're going to push the limit. I've competed myself. Of course, we're going to push the limit. But tell me what you would tell these young athletes coming up, these 17, 18, 19-year-olds that are starting into this.
Yeah, absolutely. I would tell them to dream big and to um, get the most out of your potential. That is for sure, to push hard. But first and foremost, think about your longevity. Think about, and I know it's hard, easier said than done to try to think about that as a youngster, when you're just feeling fine and you think you could fly off a cliff, you know. But uh, that's why it's important for, the older cats like myself to talk to them from experience and let them know how important it's going to everything is, as far as your health inside and out. I mean, we're talking about, it's just a no-brainer when you're talking about feeling good and feeling great all the time, going into the gym and just in your normal life, as well as combining that with your actual performance in the gym, better range of motion, which can lead to it's better performance, and then more aesthetics to your muscles. um, so I would definitely tell them to look at everything in totality, as far as the development of their body. Um, really uh, don't take for granted all the supplementation as well. Um, all of the things that have their insides and their organs working at an optimal level. Um, and yeah, just be smart about your body. Be smart about your body, and take care of it as much as you can, because in the end, you just want to definitely to always take care of you, and you want to do great things. You want to perform and do great things there to extend yourself to people, and you want to be able to really tell them about tell the next generation about what you've done and the smart decisions that you've made.
Of course. Yeah. I always tell people to realize that it's a long-term game.
Yeah.
People that are trying to gain everything in a year or in 5 years, it takes some time. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You weren't crazy. You weren't like 19 years old when you became pro. You've had a
Right.
lot of years of weight training behind you and a lot of learning behind you. So I tell a lot of these young kids, especially the 18, 19, 20-year-olds, I want to gain 20 pounds of muscle. I want to become pro, and I want to be at the Olympia this year.
I know.
I'm like,
I
slow
know.
down, kid. Slow down.
Yeah, I know. And that's fine to have lofty goals,
Of course.
but just know that just know, guys, that you will get more out of it when you take your time. Your body and your aesthetics you'll thank yourself for that, because you will keep your shape, your natural God-given shape, your genetic shape, which plays all into our favor anyway. When you're talking about now where the bodybuilding game is going, the bodybuilding game is really going into the direction now. I mean, we love our Ronnie Coleman's, and we love our what's my man from England, and we love our Dorians.
Yep.
Okay, but as we see now that we are really going back to even in the open class, we're really going back to, and we're really celebrating the shape, and really celebrating good flow and good symmetry and small, like tiny waists.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't have to be a size game anymore. So that's encouraging for the youngsters as well, because we know if you play that size game, that can complicate things. That can complicate things, and just putting on size and just haphazard size can be very unhealthy, especially in the long term. So now I think it's great for the youngsters to see that the smaller guys can, compete with the bigger guys and win.
Sure.
I mean,
And
take me for example. I'm one of probably the smaller guys on the Olympia stage. I mean, everybody else is weighing over 200 on stage. Well, Chris Bumstead over the last couple of years has been he's 225, 230. Regan Grimes, people like that, 230. And I'm up there at 180, 185 doing the damage.
yeah, but you at 180, 185, you look 225. There's a whole difference, because that illusion that you give, just like a lot of those old school guys, they were not huge. I mean, Bob
Right.
Paris, he was right around your weight, I believe, if not lighter.
Right.
And
Bob,
that guy looked
yeah.
magnificent on stage.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, man. Rich Gaspari, Bob Paris, Lila
Sure.
Brada,
Yeah.
they were all smaller guys.
You know what
Muhammad
else?
Master.
Yeah, you know what else they did right that you do right? Posing, which I hear you
Oh,
are also teaching now. You are also doing posing instruction for athletes, correct?
correct. Absolutely. I'm really getting a lot more serious about that. That's a passion of mine, pose, and I really think that I have a lot to offer. The youngsters and even the more seasoned guys out there. So hit me up, guys. Hit me up and get your slow the damn thing down and really hone in on your posing and take that as serious as any other aspect of your bodybuilding career, because really that's what really matters when you step on stage. You can't bring weights on stage.
Sure. And now, where can they find all of your products? You have a clothing line as well. You also are doing some training stuff, I believe, too, correct?
Yeah. So how I do my training now is you guys are my training partners. Yeah, they're my training partners. So I'm not barking sets and reps and all that out there to you. You guys train right along with me, you know? And I go hard, then you go. And then I go and then you go, just like a training partner.
Okay.
So that's how I do my training nowadays. I think that it's just a much better experience. And I think I think they get a lot more value out of something like that.
Now, where can they find all those services and products that you have?
TeamBreon.com.
Okay, so teambreon.com. We're gonna post that link underneath. If you didn't know already, this is going to be the inaugural episode of Aspire Nation podcast, which we're going to be interviewing several professional athletes, not just in bodybuilding, but also several medical professionals throughout the country and a few from overseas as well. Because as you know, I was in Dubai recently for an A4M conference, and we're going to be doing a lot of that traveling still throughout the rest of this year. So
Wow.
Thank you for doing the interview, and we really appreciate it. But, I know everybody wants to hear from the champ. I mean, 2-time Classic Physique Mr. Olympia, that's not a small deal. You are already a legend in Classic Physique and in bodybuilding, and in your young career. So,
well, thank you, Tom. I appreciate it, and I thank you to Aspire. And man, it's great. Great news. Aspire worldwide.
Absolutely. Well, Breon, thanks so much. And since you're holding the phone, are you able to give me a bicep selfie?
Yeah, let me change it to the other hand so I can
Let me
give you
see it.
the bigger bicep.
The bigger bicep. There's always one that's bigger.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Thanks, Breon. I appreciate your time. And we'll talk soon. If you need anything, you can reach out to us. And anybody watching, if you want to reach out to us, aspire-vitality.com. You guys can always reach me at Tomo Marjanovic. And, of course, check out Breon's website, teambreon.com. And at Breon Ansley, is it for your Instagram?
Breon MA_.
Breon MA_. That's where we're at. All right. Thanks, Breon. You have a good day, and kill it training.
You know it, Tom. Appreciate you always. It was fun, and definitely talk to you soon, brother.
Thanks, sir.